Hello, I'm Christina, and tonight we are going to talk about the Mandela Effect. Now, I looked around on the internet, was pretty busy, been pretty busy, but I didn't really find anything that could explain it, at least in video, the way that it needed to be explained. All right, and sometimes things are really right in front of you, like with the solar winds, you knew that the solar winds were coming in, and you knew that sinkholes were happening and that volcanoes were happening, but you didn't know that it was all related. So really, if you understand science, then when the signs show up, then the cause, it becomes obvious if you understand. All right. So we found out what the solar winds do, that they're more prone to cause volcanoes. We found out why the solar winds are coming in, all right? And that is due to this massive body with bodies around it, heading into our solar system, which it's in our solar system right now, okay? So now that we've got all that figured out, it is a fact that something is coming in to our area, and it is causing the orbit of the planets to warp. All right. And you've noticed, I don't know, some of you might have noticed, like the Alaskan Indians that usually use the stars for tracking. It's because our like I said, our solar system is warped, so it's tilted to a degree, right? Okay. Now that's super important. All right, it's a known fact that space is full of space plasma. All right, and basically with the magnetics and the currents, okay, and there's a fabric of space, basically, okay, and to me, plasma is kind of like the cells in our body. Let's not get too far into that, but when it comes to space, we know that the current is there, the electrical charge, and we also know that electromagnetics are out there too, okay? And this is where it finally dawned on me what was going on, because we've got these Mandela effects that have been really going on stronger and stronger, the last 20 years, I'd say. Because I had been reading Berenstain Bears all of my life growing up. I was a total bookworm for as long as I could remember. I volunteered for 3 different libraries in 6 years before I was done with middle school and high school, and then when I went through a library, I was 13. All of a sudden, I picked up this book, and it said Berenstain Bears on there. Okay, and I tried to tell my mom, I was like, Mom, this is not right. It's not right. And she goes, oh, Christina, blah, 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 And I was like, okay. So, imagine my surprise when about 20 years later, everybody's having that argument. And I'm like, So you kind of sit back, you're like, what is going on? And separately, I'm hearing these stories about Nibiru, Planet X. And at the time, I'm not really seeing any signs of it, right? Now, what it is, I made these chalkboards years ago for homeschooling my kids, right? And they're basically laptop size with a blackboard on the end, and that's really how I'm going to help explain this to you, okay? So this represents our solar system, okay? There's not enough rings, but as you can see, it's a little board. So you're just going to have to pretend everything that's supposed to be orbiting here is here, okay? But at the moment, we have a body coming at us, okay? Doesn't matter the position. We're just going to throw it right here on the screen, okay? We got this body coming at us, right? And it's got this push, right? And it's got these big magnetics that is causing our orbit and everything in it to warp, right? Okay. Now, one of the things about the military when I was an Army brat, okay, and trust me, I scored really, really high in engines like mechanics, and mathematical speed tests, just I was somebody they wanted, okay? But I was like, no, I'm not going back, whatever. But the thing about time travel, okay, the one lie that they told you was that, and I laughed when I was in school and I heard this. They were like, well, you got to go faster than the speed of light, and that would take an absorbent amount of fuel. And so that's just virtually impossible to time travel. And I'm like, that's not true, okay? Because one of the fundamentals in the Army when I was there was that we didn't have to chase nothing. All we needed was sort of like when you put a magnet on a TV, we needed to bend the light. We didn't have to outrun it, okay? And that's basically what is happening in space right now, okay? It's not just warping our solar system, it is bending the light, and it's using magnetism that this naturally has. I mean, think about it. It's a red thing which is got this red dust coming off of it called what? Iron oxide. That's magnetic, all right? And a big enough magnet can do three things. It can open wormholes. It can cause accidental time travel, okay? And it can also cause dimension shifts, all right? So 1 minute you wake up to this parking lot you're driving by that's been there every single day of your life, and the next minute there's a hotel that's really been there for 5 years instead, or a neighborhood, or your car's the wrong color, all right? That's because there were scientists that had theorized that everything is existing all at one time, even other possible scenarios, all right? And when you look at it on the scale, okay, I mean, I know everybody be like, okay, sir, and whatever. I think they're into opening gateways, and I think there's something that is important about that magnet that maybe might have something to do with what's coming up now. But I don't think that one of them, or maybe all of them, I don't know, maybe if all of them were running, but I don't know. The way that it is happening, it's so spontaneous, okay? And there was other cultures, ancient cultures, who talked about when this planet, or scientists, they're trying to get all technical. Oh, it's a brown dwarf star, or it's this, or it's that. Whatever this thing is that's coming in that's causing all these problems, however technical you want to get about this name, they were talking about it, said that it would be back. And it's no longer a question of, oh, is this a conspiracy theory? The science and the freak weather is so radical, and it's getting worse, and it's going to keep getting worse, okay? That is, we don't need a big telescope to put A plus B equals C, okay? You can be a blind man and read the signs, all right? Okay? If you have any kind of education, I guess more in what I was into, growing up a lot. But so they had this planet that they said, the gods would return when this planet came in. Well, that makes a lot of sense when you talk about it wasn't gods, it was science. Biblical people are expecting the Nephilim, the fallen angels, to come back. The Pope is trying to prepare us for the arrival of others. So the elites do, and history does tend to point that some kind of arrival is happening. And when you have a body that close to us, all right, it's going to make the magnetic disruptions are going to make it more than possible for them to really just walk right in, just walk right in, which really makes you wonder about these time travelers. You know what I'm saying? Why would you travel to 2017? Oh, well, because of some lame story, blah, 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 blah. Oh, really? You know, questions, and I do ask questions and I always get my answer. So when you think about it, that would be, I mean, because in order to distort time and space the way that it's being distorted right now, to the level, to the degree that it's getting distorted, it would have to be something huge, you know? And I mean, why if they could control it? If they could control it, they wouldn't just have it in front of our faces like that. What it is, is they've got this system of, if you're in the know, right? Only people in the know, right? They're assuming you're not smart enough to figure this out. Okay. But if you are, well, then I guess you're in the know. It's up to you to take those precautions. But when it comes to electromagnetics and space and fabric of space, all you got to think about, just to have some kind of small understanding, is a magnet on a TV. Those old-fashioned TVs, at least that we had, where you could, like, it wasn't flat screen, you could actually set a magnet on top. It's like that. That's basically what's happening, and that's basically what happens when you want to walk through dimensional doors. You just bend the light. I mean, there's more involved than that, but that's time travel 101. Bend the light. All right, and it takes current and it takes magnets. Like I said, what's happening. This is no small thing. You have to wonder. And all right, so you might see something on the news like, that the planets are tilted, or that, or that Saturn is missing one of its rings, or Jupiter's missing that black eye it usually has, But unless you have an education, or if you were maybe interested in school, or maybe had parents like mine that was in engineering and, radio for college, and the military experience, maybe if you kind of had a tomboy lifestyle, military lifestyle growing up, where I was expected to work on my bike and on the lawnmower engine and help my dad on his car engine. And you know what I'm saying? When you have a working knowledge of the science, then it's really, really obvious. So for all of you that are secretly watching my channel, because I know you're out there, that is just one more secret revealed, because I know it should be out on the news pretty soon. But if you want to know where the Mandela Effect is coming from, that's it. That's actually where it's coming from, is the magnetic disturbances that we're having in space. So we'll see how fast everybody figures this one out. Let's see how fast this one actually dawns on everybody, because it really does make sense and the science is there. And so we'll just see which big star that y'all are used to listening to comes out and breaks the news. All right. Well, God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon, and happy Thanksgiving. Be careful. Be responsible. Adios.